Good morning. I'm Sam Carter with today's news. When the COVID pandemic hit, it was the worst imaginable thing outside of a nuclear war. It all started in Wuhan, China in 2019, then rapidly spread throughout the world. In the United States alone, it killed about 1.2 million people. Globally, the toll was about 7.1 million. However, the World Health Organization estimates that the more realistic number of deaths could be 2 to 3 times higher due to countries that did not have the ability to track numbers and keep records like the US and Europe. As an older man, I was confronted by the steady hand and reasonable voice of Dr. Anthony Fauci. He became arguably one of the most famous people on earth at the time. It was very hard to watch him yesterday in Washington refusing to answer a single question before the Senate committee, invoking his Fifth Amendment rights for the first time in over 250 congressional appearances before that. It all started when Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky, who's a doctor himself and chairs the committee, released more than 1,000 pages of Dr. Fauci's personal diary just days before the hearing. It was embarrassing. Dr. Fauci's private words to himself were a shocking discovery of just how egotistical the man was for his age. He was 79 years old when COVID began. Even so, diaries are meant to be private, whether you're 12 or 85. Yes, it does diminish my respect for him in a small way. But on the other hand, he worked tirelessly on a daily basis throughout the pandemic and is largely credited for getting this terrible disease contained. And yet, let's look at this another way. Why now? Well, the Republicans have been getting grilled mercilessly by Democrats in hearing after hearing due to the overall ineptitude of this administration. Todd Blanche was almost certainly not going to get promoted to Attorney General of the United States from his current position as acting Attorney General, nor should he. He is President Trump's personal attorney, and he wasn't doing a very good job of it even back a few years ago. Trump is a convicted felon. Remind me again how a convicted felon managed to get back into the White House. The Senate Judiciary Committee postponed the vote to advance Blanche's nomination after two Republican senators, John Cornyn and Tom Tillis, refused to sign off without written assurance that the administration's $1.8 billion anti weaponization fund tied to Trump's settled lawsuit against the IRS was truly dead. Even his own party doesn't fully trust this administration's word. Folks, this is all mindless and numbing noise that is being pushed harder than ever by the Republicans now that there's only 96 days remaining until the midterm elections. They want you to forget the Jeffrey Epstein files. They want you to forget ICE shootings of innocent people on our streets with no accountability or even an investigation. They want you to forget that we're now in another forever war that the president said he would never start. And they want you to forget the promises of lower prices, affordable housing, and gas that everyone could afford. They even want you to forget that the cost of your health care is no longer affordable. And that's just for starters. Putting an 85-year-old man on the hot plate after 54 years of continuous service to this country is only meant to distract you. Don't let it. The Republicans could have just rolled their eyes and ignored the words in the diary of an old but famous doctor, but it was just the right amount of distracting noise at the right time. I wonder if the now deceased Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina kept the diary. That's the news so far today. I'll keep you updated. Thank you and have a good day.